Hi Acers, my name is Milos Todorovic. I come from Ljubljana, Slovenia. I work as a researcher here at our Faculty of Civil and Geodetic Engineering. I work on a so-called Competence Center of Sustainable and Innovative Building Design, working together with different industry partners. Last year I was involved in the PBL course. I was a member of the REACH team, playing the role of a construction manager. I imagine that you have already viewed our presentations now for a couple of times, right? So you already know some bits and pieces of our story. But as we are having a BIM session on Friday, I decided to record this short video to give you an overview of our BIM story, on how we have established this shared modeling environment inside Revit, and how we control the changes while our project evolved.
Due to my working experience and Revit knowledge, I immediately recommended to the team that we should use Revit almost since day one, and that I could play another role in the team, a role of a BIM manager. As almost every member of the team was confident enough in Revit skills, we decided that we will go for it. So we were using Revit almost since the beginning. Well, at least I did. In the early conceptual phases, I used Revit for a site excavation study. I was wondering if we could use the existing soil to rearrange the topography so we could get some slope, as you can see here. With that, we would still be inside the 30 feet height limitation from site, but would have more height overall and design better. With cut and fill reports inside Revit, I was able to show that we could use only the existing soil in order to achieve our goal. We can see that the cut volume is greater than the fill one. I even used Revit for site logistics. Maybe it was a bit time consuming, as I had to import and convert SketchUp models of machinery into Revit families, but I still think that was worth it. I was able to prepare a clear and understandable site logistics plan inside Revit. In addition, I also made some nice renders of our construction site, as it's really easy to do it once the model is there, and that's all already in the conceptual design stage. Some might say that renders are not something that CMs typically produce, but I say why not? Pictures do often say more than 1,000 words, right? Here's the final plan for our winning pinecone design and a final render with descriptions. Back to the BIM manager story, playing the role of a BIM manager for me meant at first taking control over our Revit protocols. I prepared our project template, so we started off with the same settings inside the program. With that, I prepared some simple guidelines on how to use the template. When the project evolved, I then prepared also some simple PowerPoint presentations being used as a tutorial for all team members with explanations on how to work with certain Revit functionalities. It was simple and effective. And of course, team members also contact me by email or Skype, and I was there to help. If we now take a look at one of our first Revit shared models, this is our site model, basically the model of origin, if you want to call it like that. Why is that? Well, the site model was our main model, into which we imported all other disciplines' models and published the coordinates into them. Like in this example here, we are importing a structural model into the site model. Usually you just use auto-center to center positioning of the link. Then when the link is inserted, you have to first place it on the right position on the site with correct orientation and alignment with other models. Then in a section view, like we are doing here, you have to find the inserted model and correct the levels of it so they are aligned with the architectural model, like I'm showing here. But just with this alignment, the model itself still doesn't share the same coordinate system or origin. That is why you have to publish these new shared coordinates into the new linked model. You use the tool Publish Coordinates and select New Link for which you want to establish the shared coordinates. You confirm the same location, and that is how then the models are connected and how they share the same coordinates from there on. Now let's skip to our final models linked together again in the site model. These models are actually all upgraded, remodeled from those first models shown before. Shared environment was basically set once and that's it. We just followed our protocol of file naming and archiving the models and then updated the models when changes were done. As you can see, the models do sometimes perform slower. There's quite a lot of information that needs to be processed every time you orbit and view the model. It depends also on your computer's characteristics, but from my experience, I know that this is also because a lot of things were modeled sort of on the fly as we were developing ideas. So we didn't follow maybe all the proper modeling techniques, etc. But still, don't get me wrong, of course the models were on a proper level of meeting requirements that PBL course has, if not more. It's just that the technical stuff is not the only thing you have to care about in this class, as you will experience as well, I'm sure. Every model had links from other disciplines. Like here, we're viewing one of the MEP models in development. Here is a 3D view of the whole system. And if we turn on the link of the architectural model in the visibility graphics overrides dialog, and then use a 3D section box to cut the model, and let's say that we are interested in viewing the top floor and the placements of ducts for our office level, we can see another benefit of shared model environment. Not only do the models offer you a basis or underlay on which you model your own stuff, but you can immediately see also if there are some obvious mistakes or clashes happening. You can see here that it's pretty obvious that the level of ducts in the top floor is not correct. At the end of the spring quarter, we used the shared Revit models to prepare also a live virtual walkthrough that we showed at our final presentation. We produced the render with a Revit add-in called Stadia. It makes an exe file which you can then play and use on almost every computer. And it was definitely something that the judges really liked, like I think also the owners would in real life if designers would offer them something like that. It's like a gaming environment where you view the building and walk around and in it before it's actually built, and that is definitely an added value in the design process and final product of the design.
So this was the overview of our BIM story from last year. Hopefully it was interesting and beneficial to you. Like I said, we will see each other on Friday when we will be having this BIM exercise on establishing this shared modeling environment inside Revit. So it will be easier then to you to start off with the design and to design better. If you will be having any questions, problems, ideas regarding BIM or Revit, you can sure contact me by email, or we can maybe arrange a meeting in Cyberspace, we'll see. But for now, that's it. Have fun.